Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I am doing a very exciting video today. I did this a couple of months ago, but I really wanted to do it again for my November TBR. So I am letting a TBR jar choose the books that I read for November. So there is going to be prompts in here, and from the prompts I will choose a book that relates to it. I'm sure you have all seen Rachel Catherine do this every month. She is the creator of this idea and I love seeing everyone do it now. It's like such a fun way to choose a TBR, and I have been so bad with my TBR lately and not reading the book. So I'm really hoping that doing a TBR jar will help me read some more books off my TBR this month. But before I get started with this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video if you enjoy it. My social medias will be on the screen as usual and all linked in the description. Normally I would have a TBR cart, but my TBR cart is a bit of a mess at the moment, and because I have like 200 books on my physical TBR, I'm just gonna get them from my bookshelves instead. So I'm gonna have to get up, choose a few options, and then show you my options that I have. So I'm going to choose 8 prompts for this video, which I feel like is a lot, but it gives me a wide variety of books that I can read from my TBR. I'm a massive mood reader, and when it comes to picking books, I feel like I need a wide variety of genres and everything like that. So I'm just really hoping that giving myself more prompts will help me to actually read more of them, but we'll see. That could be like a good thing or a bad thing. But without rambling on too much, let's just choose the first prompt for this video. I'm literally so scared that nothing's gonna come out that I actually want, but that's the whole fun in doing these videos. Oh, okay, this is actually a good one. So this is a book that is under 300 pages. So it's a really short book that I will probably be able to get through very quickly. Okay, I finally found some options that I can do that are under 300 pages. So first of all, we have Only One Night by A.R. Rose. I had someone send this to me from my Amazon wishlist, and it is like really thin. It's like more of a novella, maybe like a short story. This one is like 100 pages, so this is definitely under the 300 mark. And then the other one I have, which I'm probably going to lean towards, is The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. I've loved all of the Lynn Painter books that I have read, and I feel like I've heard amazing things about this one in particular. It's also just such a cute cover. Like there's something about this I love so much. I think it's like the colors maybe. I think I've spoken about this before in another video. I am just really attracted to reading this book in particular, so I think this is going to be the one that I choose for this video. This one falls at 285 pages, so it's like just under the 300 mark. So I feel like I'll get a lot more out of this book. So this is going to be the first book on my November TBR. Okay, let's get the second prompt. This is like so nerve-wracking. Like, why is my heart literally beating? The next one is a Taylor Swift coded book, which is very broad. I don't know why I put that in there. It's going to be kind of hard for me to choose a book like that. There is one book at the top of my head that is literally inspired by a Taylor Swift song, which is "'Tis the Damn Season," and I actually had it sent to me as an ebook by the author Kimmy Freeman, and it is a Christmas book, so I feel like it could be the perfect time to put that on my November TBR. But I think every chapter is inspired by a different song. I didn't search my shelves or anything because I just feel like that is the first one that came at the top of my head, and that's the one I should choose because I don't think you can get more Taylor Swift coded than that. So that is the second book on my November TBR. Okay, third prompt. A book with a number in the title. Okay, for some reason in my head I thought this would be really easy, but it definitely wasn't. I've only got 2 options to choose from for this. So the first option is 99% Mine by Sally Thorne. I feel like I've heard very mixed reviews on this one. I don't know how I would feel about reading this book. I don't think that I'm going to be leaning towards this one, but the other option is 19 Steps by Millie Bobby Brown. I've really been intrigued to read this because I was not expecting Millie Bobby Brown to release a book, and I'm very intrigued to see what this book is about and everything like that. So I think this is going to be my option. This is going to be the third book on my November TBR. Will I get to this one in particular? I don't know. I feel like I'm not going to be in the mood to read this one at all, but we'll see. Maybe I will. I don't know, but I don't have high hopes for getting to this one, to be honest. Okay, number 4. A book with a black cover. This one's good. I really like this one actually because I feel like I have a lot of books with black covers that I really want to read. Okay, I have 4 options for books with black covers that are like on my priority TBR, books that I really want to get through sooner rather than later. So I might even chuck 2 in here just because there's a lot here that I really want to read. So the first one is Flock by Kate Stewart. I've heard some really amazing things about this recently, and I'm really excited to read this. I'm just scared that it's not going to live up to the hype, and that's why I've been putting off reading it for so long. Then we have Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. I have also been putting this one off for a really long time. I feel like this is something that I kind of have to pick up in the moment, and I don't know if it's a good idea to put it on my TBR because then I'm like pressuring myself to read it. Priest by Sierra Simone. This is like a dark, like religious romance, and I'm kind of really scared to read this one. I don't know what to even think going into this book. I might have to put like some morals aside to read this, and I'm kind of really scared. Like I need someone to actually convince me to read this one. And then the last one is Tonight I Burn by Catherine J. Adams. This one was actually sent to me by Hachette Australia, which is the publisher of this book, and I do have to read it by the end of November anyway, so this is going to be one of the options that I put on my TBR. And this one is actually about a witch, which I've never read anything about, so I'm very excited for this one. So I'm going to put this one on my TBR. And then I think as the extra book that I'm going to chuck in, I'm going to do Flock by Kate Stewart. I just need someone to actually convince me to read this. I feel like putting it on my TBR will definitely help push me to read this. Okay, we're halfway, so book prompt number 5. A book from an author you love. Okay, this is a really good one because I have one at the top of my head already. I think I already know what I'm going to choose. So a book from an author that I love, I'm going to choose Legendary by Stephanie Garber. So this is the second book in the Caraval trilogy. I didn't really like Caraval as much as I thought I would, even though it was still really good. It just wasn't really what I expected. So I really want to finish the Caraval trilogy because then I want to reread Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After before I go into A Curse for True Love. I have literally been wanting to read it for so long, so I feel like I definitely need to get to this in the month. I just love Stephanie Garber's writing. Her writing is so magical. It just feels like a fairy tale reading it, and I feel like this will be really quick for me to get through. And because I'm in a massive reading slump at the moment, I feel like this may help me get out of it. Okay, number 6. A book from an author you haven't read. Okay, this is a very broad option. I feel like I could choose almost anything for this one, so this one is really good actually. I picked 2 options that I really want to read. So the first one is My Dark Romeo by Parker S. Huntington and L.J. Shen. I actually have a package on the way from L.J. Shen, so I feel like I need to read one of her books before it actually arrives, and I'm so excited about it. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but make it dark romance, and I feel like this would be absolutely amazing. But for some reason I just can't really convince myself to read it, so maybe putting it on my TBR will help to push me to read this as well. But the other one is an author that I have been wanting to read for so long, and she just bring out a new adult fantasy, and that is Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. I see Rachel Catherine talk about Cassandra Clare quite a lot and how she loves all of her books, so I feel like I definitely need to try her writing and see how I like it. I think she normally writes a lot of YA fantasy, and this is her first like adult fantasy, and it's a completely different world from the rest of her books, so it's like a completely different universe that I can enter, and I feel like it's like the perfect chance for me to dive into her writing and see how I feel about it. I think I'm going to choose this one as the option. So this is book number 6 that I'm going to put on my November TBR. Will I get to this book? I mean, I hope so, but I don't really have high hopes because it's kind of thick, and unless someone convinces me to read it, I don't know if I will. But I'm very excited to get to this eventually anyway because I've just heard amazing things about this book so far. I just need someone to convince me to read it. Okay, we have 2 prompts to go. So number 7, a book with a pink cover. Okay, I really like that prompt as well actually, because I feel like I have quite a few options with pink covers. Okay, I have a couple of options for this one as well. So the first one is By a Thread by Lucy Score. I have been putting off reading this one for a really long time, but I do really love Lucy Score's writing. I feel like her books are just really thick, and that's why I put them off for so long. I just get the feeling that I'm really gonna love this because I know a lot of people that's opinions I take very seriously have loved this book, which means I think I will as well. But I am just really intimidated to get into it for some reason, so I feel like this may help to push me to read it. And then the other book is The Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. I know that there is another book that is supposed to come before this one, which is The Friend Zone, which is also up here, and I just don't know if I should go into this without reading that one first because I don't know how connected they are. I feel like they are definitely standalones, but I still like to read them in the order just so I can really get the found family that's normally in these books and like know all the characters going into it. So I'm not going to choose this one, but definitely let me know if I can read this as a standalone, and I might read it during the month anyway because I've been putting it off for a really long time. But at the same time, let me know if I should read The Friend Zone first because I do still have that up there anyway. But for the sake of not doing that to myself, I'm going to pick up By a Thread by Lucy Score and hope that I actually get to it this month. I don't know if I will, but hopefully I do. And prompt number 8, which is the last prompt for this video, I'm really hoping for a good one that I can pick a book that I'm really hoping to read because I feel like a few of these I already know I'm not going to get to. Okay, this is like even worse. A mafia romance. I have never read a mafia romance. As you can see, all of my like dark romances are along this shelf. So I definitely have options for you, but I don't know how I'm gonna feel about reading one at the moment. So I have two options here that are mafia romances. So the first one is Bound by Honor by Cora Riley. I've been seeing Larry Reads talk about Cora Riley and her writing a lot recently and how good it is. I feel like this book is also quite thin. It's actually like 260 pages, so it's like really quick, and I feel like it would be really easy to get into and get through. But it is also the start of a really long series, I think, and I don't know if I want to get myself in the middle of another long series, because I'm definitely in the middle of too many series already. And then the other mafia romance that I have, I think this is going to be the one that I choose. We have The Sweetest Oblivion by Danielle Laurie. This has been on my TBR for a really long time, and I've heard amazing things about this book. I don't think I've ever really heard anything negative about this book, and I think this could be a duology or a trilogy, but that is definitely less than the other series, so I feel like it'd be easier for me to get through these books. And because I've heard more about this book and how amazing it is, I'm definitely going to choose this one for my November TBR. So now I'm going to quickly go through all of the books that I have chosen for my November TBR, and hopefully you guys can convince me to read some of these, because as I said, I don't have high hopes for a lot of them. So we have The Sweetest Oblivion by Danielle Laurie, Fire Thread by Lucy Score, Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare, Legendary by Stephanie Garber, Flock by Kate Stewart, Tonight I Burn by Catherine J. Adams, 19 Steps by Millie Bobby Brown, The Do-Over by Lynn Painter, and 'Tis the Damn Season by Kimmy Freeman. So yeah, thank you so much to everyone who watched this video and got to the end of this video. I appreciate you all. Again, make sure to subscribe to my channel and like the video if you did enjoy it, because it will really help me out and help my channel to grow. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.